As you sit down for some time, you can see for yourself what disposition, mood you enjoy. You can also see whether there is an effortlessness about your being with yourself, or unconsciously you are struggling with your thoughts. Please appreciate the difference between your being the meditation and your being a meditator. Who you are is meditation, nitya samadhistha. Hrudi kalayati vidwan brahma purnam samadhu. The wise one sees himself. Niravadi gaganavam nishkalam nirvikalpam. Like limitless space, partless, free from modification. That is your nature. So there is nothing to do, either to invoke a thought or to negate one, to resist a sound, touch, taste, smell, sight, or to crave for some such sensation. None of these things are there. No craving, no resistance. You are yourself. Habitually, unconsciously, as you sit down, suddenly this I thought picks up a fight with other thoughts. Very sincerely it will be talking. Why these thoughts are coming? I don't want these thoughts. It looks very innocent. But in that thought, you move as though from meditation to be a meditator. Like to be silence. There is nothing to do. There is no need to speak, to move. Even when a sound comes, the silence undisturbed. But by habit, sitting down there with all sincerity, you are questioning, why that little noise at a distance? I want to be silent. It's a habitual statement. Please see that for yourself. The difference between being the meditation and assuming the role of a meditator. You don't consciously assume that role. it takes over a habitual identity. I who feels disturbed, and the same I wants to meditate. That's a huge mistake. Be the meditation, the silence. Use the I thought and all other thoughts, but be yourself, the silence, awareness, the meditation itself. Just see that, be that. Om Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Dhammagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyam. So see these points, please, and learn to be that yourself when you pick up a verse, a statement like Atita ananusandhanam bhavishyad avicharanam udasinyameva praptam sajivan muktalak uchyate ishyate. You call him a person living liberated, who no more dwells on the past, nor there is any escape into the future. Being himself as he is, there is no reason to escape either into the past or into the future. So ask yourself the question, are you being stable, settled within yourself as you are? No more you are escaping into the past. Only when your present is troublesome, worrisome, when your present is a burden, you escape either into the memories of the past or into the dreams of the future. If your present is exciting, and it should be always the most important moment of our lives, because present is temporarily real, more real than the past and the future. The past is gone, never to return again. As beautifully Shankara will say, Pratyayanti gata punarna divasha kalo jagad bhakshaka. Gata divasaha punaha na pratyayanti. The days that have gone by shall never return again. Future is always yet to come. It has no substance yet. What is real is this moment, now. And when you say now, are you being the timeless presence yourself, or being the part of the time? Understand? Always, you are yourself. It's a timeless presence. What it was, what it is, what it shall be, one and the same. That is why I call it Sat. Trikale tishtati, existing in three periods of time, past, present, future, waking, dream, deep sleep. So as it is, always it is beautiful, graceful, blissful. That is yourself. Only when you forget that, understand, then there comes an attempt to escape into the memories of the past or into the projections of the future, in the dreams of future. Go as a reference point, nothing wrong. Plan your future, nothing wrong. But you are not looking for a greater moment in the future. Nor are you grieving that your past was so great and the present is so miserable. You are happy with yourself. You can plan into the future with reference to your past. Living in the present, but never losing sight of yourself. See the practicality of this wisdom. That is your nature. Jivan mukta uchyate. Such a person living liberated. Living because body is existing, memories are there, possibility of looking into future always existing, but you are free because you are yourself. So take this, make this equation for yourself and live your life. Now, please read verse number 437, please. Vijñāta atmano yasya brahma bhava sruter valat bhava bandha vinirmukta hai sajivan mukta lakshana hai देहेन्द्रिये स्वहं भावः इदं भावस्तदन्यके यस्य नो भवत क्वापि सजीवन् मुक्त इष्यते देहेन्द्रिये स्वहं भावः idam bhavastadanyake yasya no bhavata kvapi sajivan mukta ishyate. Beautiful. So, shrutehe valat, by the revelation of the scriptures, instructions by the teacher, you come to Brahma Bhava Vijnata. You are now introduced to yourself. Please understand, the scriptures do not create a truth. Neither the teacher creates a truth. Like any other subject, the medical book doesn't create a pancreas, a heart, or a lungs, or a body. Because the body is existing, all the parts are existing, the physiology book, the biology book talks about it. Why people resist most theologies, most religions in the world? Because it talks about something mysterious, which cannot be seen here and now. The theologies which promise the liberation after death, which promise some type of fulfillment or divinity after death. And you have to be very austere, very disciplined, very sort of self-denying, so that you can get everything in the hereafter, does not gain acceptance by intelligent mind. Because how can I sacrifice my present for an unknown future? Understand? Ask that question. Suppose you ask the child, please, in the school you study, work hard. Why? Because after 15 years, when you get a job, you are capable, you shall have a nice house, you can have money to spend, you can go around the world, and the person sees it. In foreseeable future, in 15 years' time, you can see for yourself that your education will yield the result. You will have a good job, you will have the money, you will have the financial independence. Millions have done it, you will do it. So there is an enthusiasm. Okay, even if I have to study now, deny myself the friendship, the movies, the hanging out, is worth it, because later on I shall gain everything. If for the sake of friendship I neglect my studies now, when I am a failure, there will be no friends around. If I am bunking my classes for a movie, I fail now, later on I won't have money even to go for a movie. But if I am successful, I can even hire the movie stars to come and dance for me. So I can see the result. So let me do it. But heaven is never seen. Nitya Paroksha, always indirect. It will never be the subject of your direct perception now. You have to only believe. So for the pleasures of an unforeseeable future, if I have to sacrifice my tangible, living, immediate, present, not many intelligent people will agree to that. In case of self-knowledge, self-awareness, there is not a promise in the hereafter or even tomorrow. It is now. If the secular science promises you later on, after study, after the job, after the education, after you get the money, you will be happy. Not now. The secular science postpones it for a later date in this life. The religious, the theologies, they postpone that for afterlife. That is why, imagine, if you can be disappointed by the secular promises, because your wealth will make you rich, your things will make you comfortable, but nothing will make you happy. Because happiness is yourself. If this much of disappointment with secular science, imagine how much of disappointment can come from religion. But why there is not so much of widespread discontentment against religion? It is because most people are ignorant. They don't question it. Just believers. But among those believers, those who shall start questioning the belief, they will be miserable. And sometimes such theologies will keep the followers going in the name of a faith, guilt, fear, anxiety. So the person doesn't know what else to do. Whereas in the Upanishads, in this self-awareness, self-knowledge, there is neither secular postponement for a future date in this life, nor there is an absurd, irrational postponement for the hereafter, as the theologians will promise. Happiness here and now, yourself, Jivan Mukta. You are living liberated. Understand? For that itself, somebody should come and listen to this knowledge. Are you getting that point? For that itself, somebody should come and listen to this knowledge. Because if I say, there is no chance of getting it here, why should you come? If I say, after 10 years, I have enough, waited enough. But at least, in secular knowledge, there is a foreseeable future. You see people are more comfortable. It's better to be comfortable than to be uncomfortable. Therefore you struggle. Because, please understand, discomfort makes you more unhappy. Comfort makes you unhappy, but makes the unhappiness tolerable. Understand? Comforts doesn't make you happy. Comforts make your unhappiness tolerable. You are already empty. Imagine with that, there is a back pain also. Are you getting that? You are so frustrated, empty in life. And along with it, there is a backache, headache, continuous stomachache, poverty, small house, no food. It's a huge pain. But suppose, yes, you are empty inside, but you have food to eat, dresses to wear, a nice house to live in. You can fight the summer with air conditioning, fight the winter with room heater, fight the distances with owning a car or a vehicle. It makes your unhappiness tolerable in life. So common sense says, it's better to be rich than to be poor. So if I study, I will be rich. So you see the visible result of the secular knowledge. Whereas theologies are total nonsense. The theology, first it denounces the world, next it wants me to postpone my everything for the hereafter in the name of a faith. You understand how stupid it is. All the letters capital. S-T-U-P-I-D. And still thousands and millions of people, because for thousands of years, generations together, people have believed it. And who believed it? That time the man who was helpless. your grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, who are struggling with life. So the faith was some type of a shoulder to lean on, a stick, a staff to lean on. But now, this generation has gone through so much of material advancements. The helplessness at the relative level is so little that you don't have to rely on a faith for satisfaction. You need knowledge. Understand? Most faith orientation, please understand, most faith orientation is for the poor people, uneducated people, unintelligent people, ignorant people, innocent mass. Call them poor, call them innocent, call them ignorant. These people, they sustain the faith because for them it comes out of a helplessness. It helps in living with their helplessness. That is why in urbanized, educated society, faith falls a victim. Are you getting that? Please understand. To an intelligent person, educated, rich, you cannot sell a faith. The fellow said, no, I'm not interested in that. Many things I made it here. Why can't I be happy now? The person will demand it. What the God you are talking about? I can fix the air conditioning and beat the heat. What God you are talking about? I'm not interested in a cold is not going to frighten me, I'm going to fix the heater. Oh, God is going to, like most of these theologians, those who believe in some exclusive God sitting somewhere, what will they say? God is sending the pestilence, He's sending the cyclone, He's sending tsunami to punish people. Nonsense. So the person says, what? How can He punish? Now I have got the satellite tracking the storm, cyclone. Yesterday in Texas, where they have been tracking that latest cyclone, Gustav. And yesterday it was supposed to go through Texas. Millions of Texans evacuated their home, they barricaded their house with everything and disappeared from their places. So what the cyclone will do? It will come, go through the houses, because they have already fixed it up. The strong breeze will come, everything will escape, people have escaped. The breeze passes, house is standing, people return. Where is the God? For that type of God, are you getting that? The God who is sitting down there and sending the waves. So you are now more intelligent to fight the God out. So such people do not believe in God. There will be no faith because you can make it. That is why so-called secular people become godless. You can't push a faith on them. Usually faith lingers, has its life in a helpless society where the person is uneducated, cannot defend himself, feels helpless, doesn't know what to do. That is why even a managing director, a moneyed person who helps him with money, he shall say, you are my God. In Hindi they say, aap to mera maa baap hai, aap to mera Bhagwan hai. You are like my father and mother, you are like my God. Why? Because the person is so helpless, he doesn't know what to get anywhere. For thousands of years, imagine those generations which believed in that. So the faith continues and parents pass on that faith to the children. But always the next generation becomes a little more intelligent and they start questioning it. If they don't want to hurt their parents by dismissing it, they have nothing to do with it. They will not dismiss, but they have nothing to do with it. Please. Okay. You don't dismiss it, but you have nothing to do with it. In the process, what happens is, faith is gone, but you rely on your native intelligence. Great, nothing wrong. To a certain extent, you make your life beautiful. But then, also you come to discover, in spite of your best intelligence, best management, things falling apart, especially when it comes to personal life. You can build a beautiful house, but you can't hire a loving woman or a man. Understand? You can have the best car, but you can force a driver who should never drink, the fellow drinks. So human relationships, suddenly you discover, with your intelligence, you can organize the world around, but you cannot fix your own thinking as the other person thinking. When you become helpless, you have already dismissed a faith, nothing else to hold on. What do? Totally empty. That is why the modern man is so disaster-prone, conflict-ridden, always affected. So this is where comes the necessity for this generation, understand, for the future generation. When more and more people are educated and matured, and they cannot rely on a God in the hereafter or postpone their happiness for the hereafter. Those who like to, generation which likes to be happy here and now, must find the happiness here and now in themselves. And this is what Upanishads point out. You are the happiness. Shruter Balat. It reveals the truth in you. The teacher reveals the truth in you. So be happy here and now. For your comfort, work. There is a secular science will help you. So secular science is needed for comfort. Self-knowledge, self-awareness needed for happiness. Theologies are not needed. And that is why its time will come. It cannot last forever. After a few days, few years, if not few days, in the cosmic time, few years are nothing. In 100 years' time, more number of people will discard the theologies. Such theologies will not exist. I mean, they may exist in packets. Just like previously, faith was existing in huge, it covered a huge area. Most people are having a faith, a blind faith in God. Today, that is being eroded. Not many people are having. Knowledge was very rare. After some time, knowledge will be all-pervasive. This faith will be rare. Because some people will be always immature, uneducated, may not be exposed to this type of things. Therefore, those faiths will be there in smaller packet. Previously, knowledge was there in small packet and faith was more prevalent. In time, as more and more education comes, knowledge will be more pervasive and these faiths will be in the smaller packet. A faith, understand, faith is only for helpless people. When we say, even this Upanishadic study, as you saw, the student should have faith, Shraddha. Shraddha is not faith, not a blind faith. I am talking blind faith will be in a small packet. But believing in something, in the beginning, to believe in something so that you can discover it later. That type of faith is a becoming faith. A faith which ends up as knowledge. If a faith always remains a faith, you really can't have faith in it. You can't rely on it. A faith which begins as a faith but ends up as the knowledge. I believe until I discover. Are you getting that? That is absolutely beautiful. I believe for some time until I discover the truth for myself. And what is the truth I shall see? I shall say. Varsute Valat. When you see that yourself, who you are, Vigyatma Atma, knowing yourself, Bhavabandha Vinirmuktaha, free from the bondage of this creation. When you say free from the bondage, listen carefully that statement. When you say free from the bondage, it does not mean the bondage is discarded. Listen, it does not mean the body is discarded. Because usually people say, creation is a bondage, body is a bondage, family is a bondage, thought is a bondage. No. They don't bind you. You get yourself bound. Please take that statement and think over. Nothing binds you. You get yourself bound. The sweet never promises happiness. I see happiness in sweet, I get myself stuck on it. The money never promises me security. We impose security in the money and we get bound by it. As I told you, only in a human relationship, another human being can promise you, I'll make you happy, I'll give you happiness, I'll give you security, you are my dream, I'll make you wonderful. That is how the person traps you, because he goes on suggesting to deliver things which he really cannot deliver. And this is where the false promise begins. I shall make you happy. As I told you again and again, the spoken statement is, I will make you happy. The unspoken statement is, I am so unhappy that being with you only I will be happy. That you will not tell. Understand? You understand these loving statements? How deceptive they are? I'll make you happy. Then why do you not make happy somebody else? Everybody else? Why me? No, because you will fulfill my needs. I have an image of a girl in my head or a boy in my head. I have an image of a pleasure in my head. I have the image of a comfort, some type of comfort in my head, which you can fulfill. Other person cannot. So I am unhappy. So I am looking for a companion. Listen carefully. I am unhappy in myself. Therefore I am looking for a companion. And then I find somebody who suits who fits into my imagery. Immediately I tell him or her, oh, I am so happy to find you. I'll make you happy. But you are unhappy. That is why you are looking for a companionship. Ask yourself a question in the beginning of your life. Do you look for a companionship out of fulfillment or out of a need? That question doesn't arise for anybody because it's always out of a need from childhood. As you are growing up to your youth, you don't never understand that you are the happiness and bliss. How many people are exposed to this knowledge? Whatever makes me happy, I love it. So when I say I love you, that means your presence makes me happy. I am an unhappy person. But I tell you, I will make you happy. If I am unhappy, how am I going to make you happy? Yes, by getting you in my life, I will be happy. But will you be happy? Yes, the other person also feels happy. Do you know why? Because he also has a need to be needed. See how psychologically disastrous it is. The other person also has a need to be needed. Nobody told me these things, My man is like this, my woman is like that, my boyfriend like that, my girlfriend like that, my lover is like that, my beloved is like that. Never tells me that I am so sweet, I am so happy, Never writes a poem on me, never tells me, never appreciates me, right? Now the other person does that, Why? You need to be needed. And here, somebody doesn't seem to need you. Understand? A person who has a need to be needed, not very comfortable with himself, how is he going to make you happy? Because he shall threaten you every moment in life. Why? Because if you don't need the person, now he shall create hell for you, or she shall create hell for you. Oh, so I am no more needed. So now put the guilt on him. Now everybody start the guilt trip. So as long as I was needed, it's fine. Now that you don't need me, you put the guilt. But you understand, you are permanently damaged. Understand? That is how people grow up in life. When you are miserable, the secular science will come and say, all right, make these things, you shall be happy. You get every object, inanimate object, but still you have a need to be needed. There is an emptiness. And you gradually grow up. As a child, you are slowly waking up to individual sensations like a sound, touch, taste, smell and other things. Then food becomes an obsession. Then the sex becomes the obsession. When you are 15, 20, 25, the sex becomes an obsession. Not for everybody. Like everybody doesn't like music, everybody doesn't like sound or a taste or a touch or a smell or a sight. Something everybody doesn't like food either. There are some people, they may not, they just eat food, they're nothing like that. Same thing, everybody is not obsessed with sex, but 99%, 90%, more number of people usually get involved with that because of the heavy sensation. Please understand. So, you look for the other person to give it to you. You forget. No man or no woman can give you a sensation in your body which is not inherent in your own body. Can somebody create a sensation in your body which is not there in your body? Think. Please think. Nobody can create a sensation in your body which your body doesn't have. Like no food can create a sensation in your tongue, a taste in your tongue, the bud of which is not in your tongue. The tongue has so many taste buds. Each taste bud, they recognize the taste. Whatever you put it, eat it, the taste bud reminds you, this is the taste. Having a taste bud is not enough. Sensation makes it interesting. Having the possibility of the sensation in your body is not enough. Having the sensation drives us crazy. Now it is in me, but somebody else must do it. Whoever does it, I say, you are so nice. So sometimes people go to multiple partners, understand. As a child, when the youngsters, when there is no direction in life, you feel like playing football, volleyball, you want to sightseeing, you do surfing, you go crazy. Some people get crazy with the body also. By the time 14, 15, they become sexually, physically active. Not physically, sexually active. And by the time they are 25, 30, God knows what has happened. You call them a man, you call horny, stupid, nymphomaniac, a woman. You have these words for them describing. Please think. The person is driven crazy. So you get stuck on another human being. As long as you're young and strong, maybe you can hang around a bit, because it's easy to hang around. When you're becoming 35, 40, more of your age group people are already settled. So no more there are free-wheeling atoms available to be dragged. So that is the time after 45, 40, the fellow feeling like, nowadays I feel like settling down. Why? Because I can't hunt anymore. Understand? Please see that. The man wants to settle down, the woman wants to settle down. Just think. To such a person, if you say, happiness in the hereafter, already postponed in this world, nothing happened. You went crazy, nothing happened. Upanishads, how beautiful. Very nicely, the Vedic, this wisdom, it says, happiness, comfort you are searching for in this world, whatever is in body, whatever you are looking for, sensation, it is in your body, in yourself. And the happiness that you get also is in your nature, that is yourself. So for your happiness, you cannot postpone. Your comfort must be here and now, but it will not be lasting forever, because for comfort, you need a particular arrangement. So when the arrangement is disturbed, your comfort also will be disturbed. Whereas happiness does not depend upon an arrangement. That is your nature. Therefore, always you will be happy with yourself. A person who sees this, living, liberated, absolutely practical, complete picture in the head. Are you getting that? Please. So such a person, what he sees, Dehendriyesu aham bhava, idam bhava anya vastuke, idam bhava tadanyake, yasya no bhavato kvapi sa jivan mukti uchyate. Average person thinks, Dehendriyesu aham bhava, I am the body, I am the sense organs. Dehesu indriyesu. In the body, in the sense organ, aham bhava, I am the body, I am the sense organs. So you say, I am seeing, I am hearing, I am touching, I am smelling, I am experiencing, I am thinking. I don't know what my body is, I don't know why this thought is coming up, aham bhava. Therefore, miserable. Idam bhava anya vastuke. Idam, this world, this man, this woman, this object, this thing. So there is a dichotomy, a duality between aham, idam, I, this. So the I says, I want to see. So the object becomes an attraction. I want to hear, the sound becomes an obsession. I want to touch, the objects are elusive. Inanimate thing, you can touch. The flower is there and you feel like flower, you feel like touching this flower. Suppose you go and, is it necessary to hide and go and touch the flower? You want to touch this flower, you go and touch the flower. The flower will say, hey, come on, don't touch me. Will the flower tell that? No. This is the flower, beautiful smell. How did it come here? You go to the, oh, very nice fragrance. Oh, you go to that, when you go to smell it, will the flower say, get lost. Don't smell me. No, you do that. You touch, taste, smell, everything fine. Only when it comes to another human being, problem begins. I feel like touching him. I feel like touching her. I feel like patting him. I like patting her. I want to talk to him. I want to talk to her. I want to... Try. Human beings use the other language. You say, suppose somebody comes nearer you, what do you say? You are moving too far. Meaning, you are coming too near. Knock you off. Understand? Aham idam. So I want to see, that object must be seen. So other inanimate object, go and see, touch, taste, no problem. I want to see him or touch him or taste him. Oh boy. You understand? That is why your physical body becomes the costliest real estate. You want to take that imagery, you can take that imagery. Human body is the costliest real estate. You want to get a man or woman? Oh boy, you have to pay through your life. You want to purchase a car? $100,000, $50,000, $10,000. You want to purchase a house? $10,000, $20,000. You want to purchase a man or woman? Get a man or woman? Oh, empires are not enough. Even after getting the whole empire, there are people also. I don't like you, so I don't want your kingdom. Go. So you can be king, but you shall be thwarted by, pushed around by an ordinary girl. Laila Majnu. The Laila Majnu, you know that a great love story in Arab countries. Love with each other. The girl was beautiful. And the king got enamored by her. Now, king being king, kidnapped, took him away, forcibly took her to the parent. But this girl has no inclination to be the king. King poured, bathed and, buried her with costly presents. Everything. Take a palace, take this, take that. But belong to me. Nothing doing. She is crying and losing everything. Then she was losing her health. The king can't be responsible for somebody's death. If only she is alive only, he will love her. So what to do? Call the physicians. Physicians said, Maharaj, O king, nothing wrong. Physically nothing wrong. She is missing her relationship, her lover. That's the only way. Then the king said, all right, get that fellow. I want to see who is that person who is so much more attractive than me. So much of wealth, so much of everything I have, all power, all position, whatever you call as aphrodisiac, attractions, I have. The whole palace, everything. Bring that fellow. I want to see how wonderful he looks. What type of person is he? When brought up, he was absolutely ordinary. Absolutely ordinary. Then the king questions her. All right, lady, what do you see in that person? What has he got? Power, position, beauty, handsomeness, intelligence? One statement the lady gives. Please see through the eyes of the Laila. Look through the eyes of me. Look through my eyes. You will not understand. Why somebody likes somebody? Don't ask the question. Do not ever ask. Because you shall say, what do you see in him? What do you see in her? Why do you feel attracted? So she's so dumb. He's so stupid. No. Look through the eyes of the lover or the beloved. Why? Obsession. Not that greatness. Obsession. Some obsession has set in. Thinking that shall make me happy. Some obsession has come in. It's just like some people like bitter gourd. Why? Don't ask. Some people like mushroom. Why? Don't ask. But some people hate it. Same thing. Something comes in. And that is why they are liable to be frustrated in life. Because their moods change, values change, exposures change. Because when you want to get somebody, you are a different person. When you have got somebody, you are a different person. Understand why this love, so-called love and everything goes away and you feel frustrated. You have to watch out. The person who begs you money for borrowing is a different person. He will come 10 times a day, calls 20 times a day, will come and take money from you. The person who has to return it is a different person. The fellow who comes and begs for borrowing is different. Because he is the man who needed. The person who is going to return has no need. So the person who took the money is different person from the person who is going to return the money. Therefore, you get into trouble. So the person who is chasing you is different from the person who has got you. Understand? That is why relationship also, boom, 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 out. That's why you can see in that pictures, all these newspaper nowadays, those who make their business to make other people's lives to be published every day. God knows for what. The movie people, movie meteors, sports meteors, not movie star or star, there are meteors, fall down and down. Why? And everybody will say, soulmate, found 2 days, 2 years, finished. What happened to you? What happened? Understand? When the aham bhava comes up, I see, I hear, I taste, I touch, therefore I want to touch this, I want to see this, I want to taste this. Duality comes in. When the duality comes in, attraction comes in. When the attraction comes to an end, now suddenly I don't want this. I don't want this. Then what happens? When an object, as if it is easy to get an inanimate object, that easy also to drop the inanimate object. Whereas when it comes to an animate object, a living thing, difficult to get rid of. Both are troublesome. Difficult to get. Haba, what a headache. And difficult to get rid of it because unless mutually it is disruptive. Suppose mutually, I am tired, other person also is tired. Then it's not problem at all. Good riddance. Bye-bye. We have separated as friends because both were fed up. Thank you. When that becomes mutual, when both are fed up, it's very mutual. Yes, tired. Why? Go. But if one person's attraction is still there and other person's attraction is gone, then court case, long battle. Or you think somebody is escaping with paying nothing? He has to pay through the nose, 50%, $500 million. If the person is very tired, what shall he say? Take the $500 million, let me go. Why? Hapa, my mental peace is more important. 500 million is nothing. Why? For him, it is like that. If you are a billionaire, you have to purchase your peace with billions. What to do? So take it. 500 million. Take the 500 million. Nothing, no problem. Another 100 million bonus. Go! Just go. Don't worry about it. Just go. I don't want to see that munji. I don't want to see that face. I don't want anywhere in my household, I don't want to see that shadow. Get lost. How nice. The same person whose shadow itself was precious, forget the person. Shadow itself was precious. Oh. You understand? Please recognize this. Life is different, sir. That is where the so-called faithfuls, those who try to postpone the unhappiness happiness for later date, you don't know, they leave you for life's churning, twisting, crushing experiences. You have to go through all that. Can you wait for all this? No. Happiness now, here. And how do I do that? Knowing yourself, aham. Body is body. Sense organ, object. In this, neither aham bhava nor idam bhava, neither I nor this, both are gone. There is only one truth. I am the consciousness. And when I say I am the body, I see, I have the eyes which see. I don't see, I don't taste, I don't touch. Sensation doesn't belong to me. I am happy with myself. Sensations are there, so using the body, using the mind, using the object. But no time dependent on anything. Okay? Jivan Mukta, living, liberated. Read the next verse. Pragyaya o vijanati sajivan mukta lakshana hai na pratyag brahmanor vedam kadapi brahma sargayo pragyaya yo vijanati sajivan mukta lakshana. So this is the Jivan Mukta Lakshana, characteristic, natural expression of a wise one who pragyaya bijanati. By his understanding is very clear about this knowledge. What is that? Prapancha pratyak brahmanavo na vedam. There is no Veda, difference between pratyagatma, Brahman, I, the microcosm, and Brahman, the macrocosm. Between micro and macro, there is no division. Macro is in micro, but micro itself is not macro. Universe is in the dust, but dust by itself is not a universe. The ocean is in the drop of water, but the drop by itself is not ocean. All pervasiveness. Want to name it Ishvara? Fine. It is in every tiny thing. But every little thing by itself is not Ishvara, God. India is in every part of this country, but any little part by itself is not India. Earth is in every part of this planet, but any little dust by itself is not the whole planet. At the same time, you cannot say this little stone is not the planet because it is a part of the planet. From the standpoint of the stone isolated, it is stone. But as part of the totality, it is earth. Isolated, this is body. Together, from the standpoint of the absolute totality, universe. Isolated, individual. From the total standpoint, Ishvara, God alone is existing. So macro, micro, Naveda. In reality, one, functional difference. Are you getting that? Differences are functional. Functional difference. Just like, what is the difference between your toe and your brain? Is you know. From top to toe it is you know. From top to toe it is you. But what your toe can do, your brain cannot do. What your brain can do, toe cannot do. What your hand can do, leg cannot do. What your leg can do, stomach cannot do. What your stomach can do, back cannot do. What your back can do, what? Front can't do. Whichever. You understand the language. You take it any way you like. Every part of totally it is body. Everything is body. But the hand is not leg, leg is not tail, tail is not stomach, stomach is not finger, finger is not air, air is not nose. But together they are all body. Same thing. Everything is Ishvara. God. Totality. Brahman, Brahmana, Sargayo, Veda. Same thing. Brahman and the creation. There is no difference. As in the difference between individual, me and the totality, there is no difference between totality, consciousness and the whole creation. It is in and through everything. Iti yo vijanati. One who knows it very, very clearly. Such a person, Jivan Mukta Ishyate. He is a Jivan Mukta, living, liberated. You are living with the part. You don't lose sight of the whole. Reading that. Understand? Living with the part. You are not losing sight of the wholeness, the totality. Jivan Mukta, living liberated. Okay? Further, same type of theme, so continue. Please read the one. Sadhuvi pujyamanesmin pidyamanepi durjanaihi samabhavo bhavedyasya sajivan mukta lakshanah. Sadhuvi pujyamanesmin pidyamanepi durjanaihi samabhavo bhavedyasya sajivan mukta lakshanah. Beautiful. This is Jivan Muktasya Lakshana. This is how a wise one can, that is how he lives with this attitude. Samabhava bhavet. Always there is total equanimity in his life. Always he himself in the x-axis. There are no ups and downs. You can, pretend to be up and down. Pretend means you can play the roles of being up and down. But in reality, you are not up and down. Just like an actor who pretends to be very angry on the stage. The moment he comes out, laughing. Did I do that part well? They are angry, but pretending to be angry. Obsessive. You are very jealous. Something like that. But you know, deep within, you are always the same. You are playing a role. Please understand these things clearly. When sadhuvi pujyamanesmin pidyamane pidurjanaihi sadhuvi pujyamanesmin. By the sadhus, pujyamana, worshipped, you are such the wise man, whether he is worshipped by the other wise people, other great people, or whether he is humiliated, ill-treated by durjanaihi, ignorant people, mischievous people. In both cases, he is absolutely same. Because he is recognized by the wise people, good people, it doesn't bring elation. Why? Because he knows what all they are talking about him, that is true. I am a good man. So when you are a good person and somebody tells you are good, thank you for recognizing. You are a good person and somebody says you are a rascal, thank you for not recognizing. You don't, are you getting that? You are not protesting, resisting, nor you are feeling flattered. Who feels flattered? That person who is not sure of himself or herself feels flattered. Like most of the time you shall see, many youngsters come and ask me a question. You know, Swamiji, other day I went to see a girl who is going to get married. And one boy is really crazy after that girl. So she has a big smile in her face and he says, you know, other day they came to see me. She was sitting down with her mother. So he was telling, you know, Swamiji, I know her, when she was 2-3-year-old, I know. So now she is getting married, 21, 22. So she comes, you know, Swamiji, when that fellow came to me, said, oh, I love you, I want to marry you. I asked him, what is that you see in me that you are marrying me? I said, lady, never commit that mistake for the rest of your life. That means you are not sure that you have certain qualities which can be loved. So if you ask that question, suddenly the fellow will have a doubt, may have a doubt later on. What is that you see in me? Meaning, I am not seeing anything in me worthwhile to be loved. What is that you see in me that you are loving me? If you ask the question, that means you are ignorant of yourself. And if you are ignorant of yourself, so that is why you feel flattered. Chances are somebody later on will discover more good qualities in you. You shall feel more flattered, therefore dump this fellow. Or the same fellow shall discover the other side of you, shall dump you. What do? Your self-worth is not known. Are you getting that point, please? Why people feel shattered, devastated in relationship? Because the person is not aware of himself or herself. Sadhuvi pujyamanepi. Other good people, they recognize. That is the ultimate recognition. Why? Vidwan eva vijanati vidvajjana parishramam paripakvam cha. If you are a PhD and another 10 PhD say you are a wonderful person, that is some compliment. Why? Vidwan eva vijanati. Only the learned one knows what it means to be learned. So when a learned man appreciated by learned people, a musician appreciated by other musicians, a swimmer appreciated by other swimmers, a writer appreciated by other writers, then only something. You don't say, oh, Swamiji, I sing wonderfully. Who told you that? My driver. And he is not a musician. Not the driver can't be a musician. That's what I'm telling. Immediately, Adi. A person who never sings anything, suppose he says, oh, you sing so well. Like when we were students, there will be bhajan every night. There is one brahmachari, he does not know that he can't sing for nuts. So stupid. But he must sing. When he starts singing, it becomes a torture chamber. The fellow doesn't know what he is singing. It is a totally unruly voice. There is no rhythm, rhyme, nothing. Somebody goes in there, the mridangam in one way, he is in another way. Oh, it's a torture chamber. There was a science fiction. I forget the title of the book. But the punishment in that other planet was, if you are to be punished, you are pushed into a very nice air-conditioned room, and there is one fellow who sings song. That is known as, that person's name I remember, Bhogan. Bognghan or something. So Bhogan's poetry. So the person to be punished means they will be putting into that particular chamber, there will be a session, Bhogan's poetry session. It is so miserable, so disharmonious, so nonsensical that when you listen to that, and as the fellow lies down, he listens to it, he starts going through pain all over. I want to get out of it. What a music, huh? Imagine. So that fellow, our friend, was like that. Horrible, really horrible. And after that nonsensical song, he will come and ask also, how was the music? So there was one brahmachari who was a little smart. He had asked, everybody will ask. He had asked me also, what shall I say? I said, oh, it's very good. You continue. You will improve. Don't worry. It's not. I don't want to be rude and all that nonsense. But the one fellow, he asked one day, hey, how is this song? Oh, you sing fantastic. You sing fantastic. But when you don't sing, it is so nice. Poetry. Okay, so some people, a musician, a singer who knows music, when he appreciates another musician, it is something. So when a sadhu recognized by sadhu, a wise person recognizes other people, oh, you are wonderful. It's something. Even in that, the person is not elated. Sadhu bhi pujyamanepi, equally matured, informed, wise, scholarly people were appreciated. There is no elation. Oh, everybody praises me. I know. Durjanehi pidyamanepi are the people who are jealous, angry, short-tempered, selfish, biased with personal interest, who has no good words for anybody. Such people, when they talk nonsense about you, pidyamanepi, humiliated, disrespected, neglected by such people, scandalized by such people. Samabhava, because neither that nor this. There is a nice Zen Buddhism story goes. One day there was a monk was living in a village. And then people are giving him viksha. Some people bring food and all that. It so happened one day, a young girl in the village became pregnant. When she became pregnant, and she was not married, she became pregnant. So everybody said, how? Then suddenly some fellow started rumor, this monk, this person has done the mischief. The girl also did not say no, but didn't say yes either, but didn't say no. So everybody's, suspicion concentrated on this man. So they all came. You are the person who did that? Oh, I see. All right. He left the place, went into the mountain near the village. The villagers pushed him around. Then after a few days, the girl could not keep it because she knows the innocent fellow is punished. So she comes and cries and tells everybody, no, it's not like that, my boy. There's another boy in the village. Oh God, villagers felt rotten. They all cried, miserable, what to do? The entire mass went in village. En masse, they went to the mountain and begged that man, we are sorry that we told all these things. Oh, I see. He comes back. Just 2 sentences. Oh, I see. If you are innocent and everybody blames you, how much can you defend? And if they say we are sorry, and how much can you get angry? If your mind is so beautiful, if it has not built up, suppose you built up, all these people told so many things against me, oh now they are coming back. No, I am not going. Go. You have already told. What rubbish. Wisdom. In wisdom, instant forgiveness. You can't carry. Very difficult. When somebody says sorry, finished. That is why you can be cheated a lot. Because a person can tell sorry and continue to do nonsense. But it doesn't affect the person. It affects the person who is cheating, who is pretentious. You don't look at other person's behavior. You look at yourself. Sadhuvi Pujyamani. Respected by everybody. Disrespected by few. Both way. The person doesn't react. Why? Because he is absolutely sure of himself. That is the key. That is the secret. Secret is not other people's appreciation. The secret is not other people's humiliation. Secret is your appreciation of yourself. You are so much sure of yourself. You know what you are doing is right. And that is why when other person says, not that you neglect. Suppose the other person points out a mistake. You don't say, no, I know how to do it. No. Am I doing that? You verify it. No, I am not doing it. Fine. I am doing it. Sorry, I am doing it. Maybe I did not look at myself that way. I looked at it. Oh, I made a mistake. True. Oh, sorry. You are such a wonderful person. Only when you are weak, you will be defensive. Only when you are weak, you will be arrogant. Because you are not sure of yourself. Please understand. That is why to the weak creatures, God has given powerful deception quality. In underwater movies, if you have seen, when that barracuda will be coming nearby, there are certain puffed fish. They puff off. This fellow will be this much. They puff like a big ball. So the person thinks is a big fish. He will go away. Then he goes away. Ooh, finish. Very simple. You know that, what is that one? Chameleon? How big he is? Continuously changing color. This one, this size, I saw in Madagascar, so many varieties. So many varieties, small ones, kuti. God has given them amazing capacity of deceptivity. Because when they'll be sticking on a branch, they look exactly like that branch. You believe me, my first encounter was such was when I went to Madagascar, I went to the place, the guide says, see, there is one thing, what is that? A chameleon. Where? I am standing here. Here is that one. Where? Because completely, that side merged with that branch, exact color. Even the eyes are covered up. Complete merger. Then he pushed him a little power. He started moving. When he started moving, I could not believe. Merges. Why? You are a little beaten up. Every defensive mechanism is for the weak person. Anger is a defensive mechanism. You know what is anger? When you shout loudly, you talk loudly, you want to show the other person, don't play with me, I am very powerful. The person who knows it, he knows you are stupid. Don't worry. That is why when the person is angry, another weak man also becomes angrier. Both fight. But if the person who knows his strength, angry, okay, let him be angry. Exhaust himself. Finish it up. All right, finished, over. Okay, come, sit down, talk. It's not a strategy. It is something natural to the person. Because you don't get upset. It's okay. In a self-defense, the person is arrogant. Who is arrogant? Only poor people will show off. Rich men usually don't show off. Rich poor also will show off. Poor men show off. Why? Because I'm not ordinary, I'll show. So beg, borrow, still they will make a big marriage for their daughter. After the daughter's marriage, they die. What happens? Wow. Poor rich people also will make a big show of things. But the person is really rich, it doesn't matter to him. That is how wisdom also. When you are aware of yourself, very clear about all your perception, you are least argumentative. A group of people had come and they wanted to discuss. Before they even discussed, they started arguing among themselves. I was sitting down listening. Absurd nonsense, absolute rubbish. I never went inside. For what? Let them talk it out. They talked it out. Then I kept quiet. Then after 20-30 minutes of mutual nonsense, suddenly they woke up. Hey, Swamiji, we came here to talk to Swamiji, but he is not talking. Then suddenly they, oh, sorry, please Swamiji talk some. I said, what is there to talk? You guys know everything. Don't worry. Why? If the person wants to show off how much he knows, he doesn't know anything. That is why to be dragged into a conversation, conflict, confusion, you must be an idiot. If you are sensitive and sure of yourself, you do not join the issue. Unnecessarily don't join the issue. If somebody is arguing, let him argue himself out. Okay, after that we'll see. And if you leave the person alone, please understand the best way of teaching the garulas is not to talk. Let the person spend himself. After the person spends himself, sit down quiet. Then the person says, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know, why did I talk all these things? It was not necessary to talk. Yeah, I think that's so, that's right. Problem is solved. Learning to be sure of yourself. This is what it is. Very beautiful lines, Sadhubi Pujyamani. Worshipped by, recognized by great people. No flattery. Scandalized by idiots. It doesn't matter. Why? The person doesn't know what he is talking. Remember that story, eh? Beautiful brinjal. Already you are smiling. It's not a brinjal. No, it is a brinjal. Remember this. Million times, million people say, this hibiscus will not be a brinjal. It was never a brinjal, it is not a brinjal, it will never be a brinjal. Who you are, if you know who you are, it doesn't matter what one person or 1 million people talk one time or 1,000,000 times. Facts do not change. Are you that sure of yourself? Jivan mukta hai, living liberated. Living liberated, no problem. Living unaffected by anything. Read the next verse. Lovely verse. I love this one. Yatra pravishta vishaya parerita nadi pravaha iva variraso linanti sanmatratayana vikriyam उत्पादयन्त्येष यतिर्विमुक्तः यत्र प्रविष्टा विषया परेरिता नदी प्रवाहा इव वारिरासो लिनन्ति सन्मात्रतया न विक्रियाम् उत्पादयन्त्येष यतिर्विमुक्तः. So sweet this verse, you know. Yesha yatihi vimukta. This striving, contemplating individual is totally free. Who? Where na vikriyam utpadayanti yatra vishayaha pareritaha pravishtaha vikriyam na utpadayanti yatra, where the sense objects are offered to the person or he is perceiving, but these perception or sensation do not create any reaction in him. Like, example, Nadi pravaha iva varirasau, like rivers of water. So many rivers of water pour into the ocean. Once they go into the ocean, first they lose their identity. Next, ocean does not overflow. Beautiful example. Are you getting that? When hundreds of rivers are getting into the ocean. Once they get into the ocean, can you take away Ganges water from that? Yamuna, Godavari, Mahanadi, Brahmani, Vaitarani, nothing. All the rivers go there. Now it becomes only ocean. And when millions of rivers or thousands of rivers pouring in millions of tons of water in the rainy season, the ocean doesn't get flooded, never crosses its border. neither in the advent of summer, when there is no water in the rivers, the ocean doesn't dry up. Ocean is apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudram. In Bhagavad Gita comes, you'll see that. Ocean is always full and complete. Millions of tons of water doesn't help it to overflow, nor when the water's not pouring into it, ocean doesn't dry up. Tadvat, for the wise person. Vikriyam na utpadayanti, the sense objects, prerita, when they are offered by others to him. See, here the language, a very orthodox language, the orthodox language is, I don't want to say very, the language is, as I told you, contextual. Suppose you are with a teacher and you are training yourself, you understand these things clearly and you are keeping quiet. Suppose a very traditional place. Now when you are keeping quiet, you don't want to eat anything, you want to do that. You are not going anywhere, you are into your room. That time people say, hey, why are you sitting all the time in the room? Come, let's go a little out for 2 minutes. Okay, go out for 2 minutes. I think we should not go. Okay, let's go back. Shall we have some coffee? All right. But there is no coffee. Okay, let's go back. You don't say, there is no coffee. Why did you call me? Why did you bring me? If you have decided to go, that is your decision. There or not there, you don't know. That is why you are a person free from mood. But average person, what happens? Suppose I say, please come. Yes, we will go for some coffee. Then you go for coffee, the market is closed. Did you not know that market is closed? Why did you unnecessarily call me? That day you decide, never shall I call this fellow again. Why? Because you are reacting type. I asked you to do, okay, we'll have some food. The food is not there. So what shall you say? Oh, food is not there. Excellent. No. If the food is not there, where are we going? Okay, made a mistake. Thank you. Never again. You understand why relationships get switched off? Because you are continuously reacting. Vishaya parerita. Parairita Vishayaha. The sense objects which are given by others to him. Suppose you are simply sitting down, but somebody is asking you to do something. And you accept it like the ocean accepting the rivers unto it. Because you are the ocean. Or you yourself choosing to perceive. Or simply, suppose you are sitting down, simply sitting down. Think, you are simply sitting. Please see that point. You are simply sitting down. Sense organs automatically will reach you. How? Now this breeze comes and blows. Beautiful breeze. Nice cooling. Now who sent it? Anybody organized? Hey. Shall I tell the breeze? One tickle him and come back a little. Go into his ear and come. And come away. Can anybody do that? Can anybody do that? Or shall I tell the sun? I know you are shining everywhere, but when this fellow goes out, put a little more scorching on his back and come back. Can anybody? Nor can you say, you're going there, everywhere sunlight, but in this person there is no sunlight. Why? Cool. He's a wise man. Cool. You cannot escape sensations in life. As you are walking down, lovely fragrance will reach you. Stings also will reach you. Eating food, you cannot escape taste. Even if you beg. You did not prepare it food. You begged that food. You can't escape the taste. It will come. Sight, of course. You don't have to change it. It is changing. From dawn to dusk, the whole background is changing. Soft light of the dawn to harsh light of the midday to soft light of the afternoon, dusk, evening, night, background changing. Seasons pass. Autumn, All leaves have fallen. Spring, new leaves have come up. In the deep summer, fully loaded flowers and leaves so that it provides you shade. You can't escape. Understand? So, Vishaya Parerita. By nature, sense subjects will reach you. Or, even if you choose to sense subjects to reach you. So, see this imagery. The sense subject, through the sense organ, reverse of perception, creates a reverse of impression, going into the ocean of consciousness. This is your meditation. Reverse of sense subject, creating reverse of sensation, becomes reverse of impression, going into ocean of consciousness. 5 rivers: sound, touch, taste, smell, sight. But the moment they become thought, the thought of a sound has no sound. The thought of the touch has no touch. The thought of the smell has no smell. The thought of the taste has no taste. They are only one form, sight, one form only. But the forms also totally merge in the formless ocean. The ocean of consciousness doesn't get overflown when millions or thousands of impressions are pouring in, or there is no perception, no sensation, no impression. Consciousness doesn't dry up. That is meditation. Meditation does not mean putting an extra thought inside your head. What are you doing meditation? Swamiji, I am doing meditation. I am thinking of blue color all the time. What do you think of it? Sympathy. What else can I do? It's not you. It's not sympathizing to you. Sympathizing with the one who was initiated into the blue. You can never escape the blues of life. You understand? Moods of life. If somebody has told meditation means this thought, this word, this form, you know what does it mean? That means except that one, everything else is agitation. So your agitation is billions. Your meditation is little one. What shall be your life? Agitation or meditation? Even meditation itself is agitation. Because meditation is a tiny whisper. Agitation is a pandemonium. Huge noise. In reality, no ocean can be disturbed by water of any kind. Ocean can engulf thousands of rivers. Rivers of impressions pouring into ocean of consciousness. Vikriyam na utpadayanti. It doesn't create any type of reaction. You are happy with yourself. Can you consciously experience? That is meditation. Can you be aware of your thoughts? Remember that language, color ID. I thought, just a thought. The more you see it, effortless it becomes. No thought can create any trouble. Like, I'll give a story, which you don't like, I know, but I have to tell because I feel. Okay. There was a sadhu living in his little hutment. One evening, one thief was there. The sadhu is sitting down quietly in his bed. The thief could not know that there is a man sitting there. Darkness. So he tiptoes, picks up something, whatever little is baking bowl or whatever there, picks up and is going. Then suddenly the sadhu says, son, what are you taking? Come here. You want something? You ask, I'll give you more. You don't know what is in this room. You want it? Come. In that begging bowl, under the bed, there is some nice things, pick it up. Now imagine, what will the thief think? What will the thief think? This is such a harmless fellow, simple person. I don't have to steal from the room. If I ask, I get more than stealing. So what is this idea? So he said, I'm really sorry. I don't know what to do. He said, you don't have to do anything. Just do one thing for my sake. Take everything. What all you want, whatever you picked up, you take. What I gave also, you take. But you do one thing for me. What is that? Just be honest. Tell the truth. Always you just tell the truth. Just to escape that embarrassing moment, he said, yes, of course I'll tell you. He wants to escape. He doesn't want to stand there in front of a person who is so, so nice and simple. So he ran away. And next day, when by habit, after 8 o'clock, again he is starting living from his home, only to commit theft, to steal something. Then somebody asked him, where are you going? Now he was in trouble. He said, oh my God, such a nice man, he has told me only one thing, to be honest. Now, if I have to, he asked me, where am I going? I have to tell him I am going to steal something. That's not the right thing to say. All right, I don't think I should steal because I should be honest, no? One little thing. You stick to that, the whole life changes. Why? Just one thing, I should be honest. Can you do that? I am happiness. I am all the time happy in life. I will not allow anything to make me unhappy. Can you do that? Understand, if you hold on to one principle, your whole life will change. Your reactions will go down. Navikriyam utpadayanti doesn't create any reaction. Because I will not make myself miserable for anything. What somebody says, what somebody does, what somebody does not do, what somebody doesn't say, what the world says, world do not say, makes no difference to me. Why? I am happy with myself. It's not that I do not care. I am happy with myself. I do in my own ways. But nobody can make me unhappy. No situation can make me unhappy. I will face the situation. But unhappiness, no. Can you take that? Language. Take that language inside yourself. The moment you have that decision, just like the person, I want to be honest. You cannot tell a lie. That is why one value, if you can live in your life one value, your entire life will be different. Because everything is connected. Everything is connected. That is why when you compromise one, you compromise on everything. You see, just like the strength is interconnected, weakness also is interconnected. Suppose you say, I don't have any weakness except I lie. Enough. That means nobody can believe you anymore. You are a liar. And you think others don't believe you, that is a different thing. You won't believe yourself again. That is why whenever you take a decision, you can't keep it up. Because you are compromising continuously, no? You are compromising. If you say, if I say, I do. If it has been spoken, that is why unconsciously we will not speak anything in life. Oh, I can clear up the whole place in 2 days. Do it. But what happens? That is why people promise, they never do. You know how much conflict they carry inside? They promise, oh, I'll do that. But they never do anything. So, when you promise others and don't do it, that haunts you. You promise yourself, tonight I'll sleep at 9 o'clock, morning I'll get up at 4 o'clock and do 100 push-ups. Who is deciding? The fellow before sleeping. 4 o'clock, alarm clock, poor thing, doesn't know that you are a changed person, rings. And what do you do? Bang! Why? You deceiving yourself. You never keep up your word. So your own thought will say, no, it's okay, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the best day. Yeah, that never comes. Tomorrow will do. Today, tomorrow will do. Meditation begins tomorrow. Fasting begins tomorrow. Everything begins tomorrow. Like next January 1st onwards, I will not smoke. That means what? I am giving myself a sanction to smoke as much as I like until 1st January. After 1st January, I will never be angry. So until that, I am Durvasa, Rakshas, anger personification. What a waste. And if you say, I will not make myself unhappy, you know what? In that is included the whole mankind. If I will not make myself unhappy, I will not make anybody else also unhappy. Because I make myself happy in life, I won't make somebody unhappy. And if I make him unhappy, I'll see to it that the person is, if I am taking a harsh step, it is for person to change so that he becomes happy later on. It's like you prune a tree to make it healthy. In the hand of the gardener, the knife doesn't cut. It helps it to grow. The cutting of the knife, are you getting that? The cutting of the branch is to help it grow. Not pruning does not kill. Pruning helps it to grow. The wise man's anger is like a pruning, not cutting. Understand? So when you are a happy person, see for yourself how you take those perceptions, sensations, impressions. Principle is, as even Nadi pravaha iva variraso. Nadi pravaha, as in rivers, enter into. That is how Vishaya parerita, the sense objects coming by themselves, offered by others, or chosen by yourself. They enter into you like the rivers entering into the ocean. They neither make it overflow, or when they do not flow in, the ocean doesn't dry up. That is how full and complete you are, with the presence of sensations, perceptions, impressions. You are not overflowing, or in the cessation of impressions, perceptions, all the impressions, you are not drying up. You are always yourself. Such a person, utpadayanti yati vimukta vikriyam na utpadayanti. None of these things create any vikriya, reaction in the person. Happy with yourself. Therefore, see that, the wise person. I will not make myself unhappy. Nobody can make me unhappy. The happiness itself. Always yourself. Okay? We shall see next. Okay, just next verse we'll see in the afternoon. Just read it away. Vijñāta brahma tattvasya yatha purvam na sansrutihi asti chenna sa vijñāta brahma bhavo vahirmukha. So we'll see the verse in the afternoon. I always tell, We'll see the verses in the afternoon, not the truth. Truth is already seen, only manifestations, expressions. Please close your eyes. Thank you, friends.